අද මම ඔයාලත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ grade 10 arithmetic progression unit එක අපි සිංහලෙන් කියනවා නම් ශ්‍රේණි තමයි අද මම ඔයාලත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ සමාන්තර ශ්‍රේණි ගුණෝත්තර ශ්‍රේණි සිංහලෙන් නම් ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් නම් arithmetic progression තමයි unit එකේ නම right මම හිතනවා මේකේ basic idea එකක් ඔයාලට grade 10 ඉන්නකොට ගන්න හැකියාවක් ලැබෙන්නේ නැති කියලා grade 10 වල තමයි මේක මුලින්ම ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඊට පස්සේ grade 11 වලදී ඉගෙන ගන්නවා අනිත් progression type එක. Right. Okay. By studying this lesson you will be able to කියලා මෙන්න මේ විදිහට දෙනවා usually ඔහොම දෙනවනේ ඉතින් ඔයාලගේ textbook එකේ right recognize arithmetic progression and solve problem related to arithmetic progression. Right. මේ arithmetic progressions ආශ්‍රිතව එන ගණන් සම්බන්ධව තමයි අපි මෙතනදී discuss කරන්නේ. එතකොට මේ progression එකක් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? එහෙම නැත්නම් ශ්‍රේණියක් නැත්නම් රටාවක්. රටාව sequence එකක් වගේ තමයි මේකේ idea එක. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි දන්නවා right මම ලියන්නම් 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 dot මෙන්න මේ විදිහට progression එකක් තියෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් sequence එකක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ sequence ගැන තමයි මේ unit එකේදී අපි discuss කරන්නේ. එතකොට මේ dot තුනෙන් represent කරන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේ dot තුනෙන් represent කරන්නේ මේ progression එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ sequence එක මේ රටාව දිගටම යනවා කියන එක. එතකොට අපිට මේ ඔක්කොම ලියන්න බෑනේ. එතකොට ඒක නිසා තමයි අපි චුට්ටක් ලියලා නවත්තන්නේ. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ විදිහට ලියන sequence එකක special point එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක තමයි grade 10 වලදී අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නේ arithmetic progression කියලා. එතකොට මේ 2 කියලා කියන්නේ first term එක. පළවෙනි පදය. පළවෙනි පදේනේ. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ sequence එකේ නැත්නම් මේ progression එකේ පළවෙනි පදය තමයි 2 කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒක අපි represent කරනවා නම් ගියමල්ලිය T1 කියලා. T1. The second term T2. Likewise, we can say that the T3, T4 like that. And also the same time, the first term also called as simple A to identify. That is the only purpose to identify the first term. We call the first term as simple A. පළවෙනි පදේ අපි identify කරගන්න ඕන නිසා special වෙනවා අපිට ඉස්සරහට equation එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ equation එකට ඕන වෙනවා පළවෙනි first term එක. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා අපි first term එක identify කරගන්න ඒක simple A කියලා ගන්නවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට T1, T2, T3, T4 likewise we can identify all the terms inside of this progression. So the meaning of the arithmetic progression is the space between two adjacent number is equal. මේ එක ළඟ තියෙන numbers දෙකක වෙනසවල සමානයි. මෙන්න මේ වගේ progression එකකට කියනවා arithmetic progression කියලා. මෙන්න මේ difference එක අපි D කියලා represent කරනවා. difference කියන එක represent කරන්නේ simple D. ඒ කියන්නේ එක ළඟ තියෙන numbers දෙකක් අතර තියෙන වෙනස. එතකොට මේ arithmetic progression කියන එකේ meaning එක වෙන්නේ මේ adjacent එක ළඟ තියෙන numbers දෙකක difference එක equal. මේ බලන්න. right ඕනම adjacent තියෙන numbers දෙකක difference එක equal. මේ දෙක අතර තියෙන වෙනස 2යි. මේ දෙක අතර තියෙන වෙනස 2යි. Likewise, any adjacent number difference between two adjacent numbers should be same in order to become this sequence as an arithmetic progression. So that is the meaning of arithmetic progressions. So we'll move to the first slide. The common difference. The common difference represent the simple D as I mentioned earlier. So simple D called as common difference. පොදු අන්තරය. එහෙම නැත්නම් එක ළඟ තියෙන numbers දෙකක වෙනස difference එක. ඒක common නේ. ඒක නිසා නේ මේක arithmetic progression එකක් විදිහට දෙන්නේ. එතකොට මම දැන් මේ පළවෙනි තුනේ answers ටික දෙනවා. මෙතන questions කීපයක් තියෙනවා. මම පළවෙනි එකට answer එක දෙන්නම්. simple D equal මෙන්න මේ වගේ equation එකක්. මේක equation එකක් නෙවෙයි මේක definition එකේ common difference කියලා කියන්නේ any term other than the first term. පළවෙනි පදය හැර ඉතිරි ඕනම පදයක් ඒට කලින් පදයෙන් අඩු කරලා පස්සේ මේ අඩු කරාට පස්සේ ඒ එන answer එකට අපි කියනවා common difference කියලා. For example, the first questions 12, 17, 22. ඕනම term එකක් මේකේ අල්ල ගන්න. මම අල්ල ගන්නවා second term එක minus first term එක. 17න් 12ක් අඩු කරාම අපි දන්නවා 5යි කියලා. එහෙනම් D කියලා කියන්නේ difference එක common difference එකක් වෙනවා මේක 5යි. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ first term දෙක අතර difference එක 5යි. එතකොට අනිත් term දෙක අතර වෙනස පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න. මෙන්න මේ terms දෙක අතර වෙනසත් 5යි. දැන් ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා ඇති adjacent numbers දෙකක් අතර difference එක equal. කියන්නේ පහ 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 පහනේ තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ වගේ progression types එකකට කියනවා අපි arithmetic කියලා. right? එතකොට arithmetic progressions එකක the common difference එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ common difference එක හොයන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක තමයි අපි දැනගන්න ඕන. ඕනම term එකක් ඊට කලින් term එකකින් subtract කරාට පස්සේ නැත්නම් difference එක අඩු කරොත් එතනින් එනවා මේ දෙක අතර තියෙන common difference එක. right? එතකොට first question එකේ D මම හෙව්වා. second question එකේ D හොයන්න පුළුවන් 6 minus 10. 6 minus 10 mean minus 4. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේකටම මට ලියන්න පුළුවන් නංගී මල්ලි D 2 minus 6 කියලා. 2 minus 6. Again the answer is minus 4. This is how we should get the common difference by subtracting one from another term. So the third questions, the difference between adjacent numbers should be minus 1 minus, look at carefully, minus 5. So this is the first term, this is the second term. In between we have minus term. The minus term represent the difference. So the other two minus signs are we cannot change because the questions itself says the minus values are mentioned here. So that is why the minus 1 and minus 5 are coming to the answer. Other than that, this minus term represent the difference. So the final answer we can get as minus this minus minus into minus mean plus 5. The final value get as 4. So this is the final answer. This is very simple. You only have to subtract the second term, the first term from second term. Any of these questions. So මොකක් හරි පදයක් සිලෙක්ට් කරගෙන ඒට කලින් තියෙන පදයෙන් අඩු කරන්න. එතකොට ඒ කියන්නේ පද එක ළඟ තියෙන පද දෙකක් අතර වෙනස. කිව්වත් එච්චරයි. So common difference simple D equal the second term minus first term. Second term minus first term. Second term is minus 8 minus first term. First term also again minus value, minus 2. So equal minus 8 I am going to write as minus 8. So then minus will come as plus value plus 2. So what is the value of this one? Minus 8 plus 2. So if you can't do this calculation, I will help you. So this minus මෙතන මේ minus 8 කියන්නේ ණයක් කියලා හිතන්න. This is a loan. You take some loan from someone, minus 8, but you have only 2 rupees. Then you have minus 6. That means you have to give 6 more rupees for him. That means you have left minus 6 rupees to left give. So that is how we got the value as minus 6. So the final questions, you can subtract 4 minus 2.5. That means you will end up with the answer as 1.5. So this is the final answer for common difference. So now you know how to find the common difference of any of these arithmetic progressions questions. So we'll move on. The next topic is the n terms of an arithmetic progression. So n term, n many pade. What is the meaning of the n term? So this is the first term. So wait for a second. So this is the T1. T1 means the first term. T2 is the second term. And T3 means third term. So likewise, you can write any of the terms. But n term means if you follow this sequence, you will end up with a huge number, 150,000 terms. Likewise, things is very complicated if you are writing. ඔයා මේක ලියන්න ගත්තොත් ගොඩක් ඒක සංකීර්ණ වෙනවා සමහර අවස්ථාවලදී. අපි හිතමු ඔයාට ඕන sequence එකක arithmetic progression එක 150 වෙනි පදය 150,000 ඔය වගේ term එකක් ඕන වුණාම ඔයා කොහොමද මේක එකපාරම හොයාගන්නේ මේ term එකේ තියෙන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා. For example, if I write the progression types 3 in 3, 6, 9, 12, dot dot dot. So this is the first term, second, third, and fourth. Likewise, you can move on to 150 or otherwise 1000 terms. 1000 වෙනි පදය කීයද? Do you know this term? No. Do you know this term? No. But you can find this term by continuing this sequence for up to 150 terms. So then you can find this and this likewise. But you have to spend some more time for that. So if you know the arithmetic progressions, this equation, as I mentioned below, Tn equal a plus n minus 1 into d. So you can find any of the terms that you don't know by using this equation, very effective and very quick way. So this is the equation that I am using to find the nth term. N many padaya. Tn represent the nth term. For example, 150 term. 1000 term. 1000 වෙනි පදය. So you don't know what is the value. So you know what is the term. So that is that term represent here. N many padaya. So the simple a represent the first term of the arithmetic progressions, and n represent the number of terms. For example, 150,000 like that. So d represent, we know what is the meaning of the d. D mean the common difference. That means the second term minus first term, or any of the terms, subtract sign, minus sign, and the terms which is coming before that terms. That means for example 150 වෙනි පදය minus 149 වෙනි පදය 149 වෙනි පදය likewise. So this is the equation Tn equal a plus minus n minus 1 into d. So you have to remember this equation, very important equation for your exam. So you have to remember this equation. So we'll move to the first questions. So this is the easiest way and effective way to identify the equation. So get familiar with this equation. So the question says the 7th and 12th term 7 වෙනි පදයයි 12 වෙනි පදයයි. Like you have some arithmetic progressions questions. For example, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 likewise. This is the first term, second term, third, fourth, fifth. And the question says the 7th term and 12th term. You don't know what is the value here, the sequence. So you don't know what is the value up to now, but the question says the values. Look at the value. So question says the 7th and the 12th term of the arithmetic progressions are 38 and 63 respectively. So this is the terms 7th and 12th, and the values are mentioned in the questions. So I'll erase all these things, and I'm going to write the question number 1. Question number 1 says the first terms and the common difference. What is the first term and the common difference? Simple a. We have to find the simple a and simple d. So this is the question number 1. So how to find the simple a and d? So you can just write the equation which you know. There's Tn equal a plus n minus 1 into d. So this is the equation that I have just introduced to you all. So Tn represent the nth term value. You know 7th term, T7, and simple a, you find this one, and n minus 1. N mean the 7. Can happen. N minus 1 into d. You have to find the d. You don't know d. You have to find these two values. So now see the t7 mean the seventh term. You know seventh term as 38. හත්වෙනි පදය, you know this one. Now you can simplify this or remove this bracket and 7d minus d. I think you know how to remove this bracket. You can just multiply this d into 7 and this d into minus 1. So this is how we remove the bracket. And uh, so otherwise you can just you don't want to remove actually this bracket, you can just write the 7 minus 1 means 6, no, 6d. So this is the equation number 1. Why I am writing this as a equation number 1? I will make a equation number 1 way. So you have two unknown terms in the one single equation. You have two unknown in a single equation. You cannot find those two unknown terms by using this single equation. So you have to find another one more equation to find these two unknowns. So you have one more data. That means you have 12 term, t12. Again we are writing the same equation, and t12 terms represent the 12th term. 12th term is 63 is equal a minus a plus n means, now you, what is the value of n? N means 12. 12th term, right? 12 minus 1 into d. You don't know what is the value of d. So now we can simplify this. 63a plus 11d. So this is the equation number 2. So now we have two equations, two unknowns. So this is the simultaneous equations. We discussed how to solve this simultaneous equations in previous classes. So I just subtract 1 from 2. One equation number 1 from equation number 2. So 63 minus 38 equal this simple a minus this simple a. This simple a cancel out. I am not going to write because I don't have enough space to write. So that is why. So the 11d minus 6d. So now you can subtract this 38 from 63. So the value is 48, 25, 5d. So I'm going to divide these two side by 5, and this 5 cancel out. D equal 5. So d is 5. So the difference between adjacent number is 5. So that is the meaning of d. Now we know the value of d, then you can subtract this d into this equation or this equation to find the value of simple a. I'm using the equation number 1 to find the simple a. So I think I don't want to this equation number 2. So I only want equation number 1. So I'm going to substitute this d into this value. A plus 6d. 6d means 5. So 38 equal d plus 30. This 30 will go to the another side, and 38 minus 30 equal a. 8 is equal a. Simple a mean the first term. The first term is 8 and the common difference is 5. So this is the final answer for part 1. So the part 2 says the 20th term. That means T20. T20 means the 20th term. A plus, you just write the equation that you know. N minus 1 into D. This is the first equation. Remember that you have only 2 equations for arithmetic progression unit. Only 2 equations. So this is the first equations, and the next equation we will learn later in this today's class. So simple a is 8. N, what is the value of n? 20th. That means n is 20. 20 minus 1 into d. D means 5. 8 plus 19 into 5. That means 8 plus 19 into 5 mean 95. Okay, and 103. This is the value of the T20. T20 mean 20th term. Again, visi veni pade. The මෙහෙම ලියන්නකො first term එක 8, second term එක 13, the third term 18. ඔන්නෝම ගියට පස්සේ 20 වෙනි පදය 20 වෙනි 20th term එක එනවා 103 කියලා. So this is how the arithmetic progressions is work. මේ විදිහට තමයි ඒක වැඩ කරන්නේ. simultaneous equation එක solve කරන එක වෙන unit එකක්. මෙතනදී තිබුණ එකම එක point එකයි ඔයාලට identify කරගන්න. මෙන්න මේක ලියන විදිහ විතරමයි තියෙන්නේ. මෙන්න මේ equation එක ලියන්න මෙන්න මේ term එක විතරයි ලියන්න තිබුණේ. මේක විතරයි මේ පාඩමේදී ඉගෙන ගන්න තිබුණේ. මෙන්න මේක විතරයි මේ පාඩමේදී ලියන්න තිබුණේ. එතනින් එහාට solution එකට යන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ, right? So this is the final equation. So topic is sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic progressions. මේ arithmetic progressions වල n term එක දක්වා තියෙන පද ඔක්කොගෙම එකතුව. sum කියන්නේ ඒකනේ. sum කියන්නේ එකතුව, addition එක. එතකොට for example to make it more clear 2 4 6 8 dot. This is the first term, this is the fourth term. If think that if you want to add the first 4 terms together and represent the value, ඔයාට ඕන පළවෙනි පද හතර එකතු කරලා කියන්න ඔයාට පුළුවන් මෙහෙම 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. So you can find the final answer for that. So this is the basic way to find the nth term. That means the some addition of the 1 2 3 4. First term plus second term plus third term plus fourth term. So this is how we find the sum of the first 4 terms. Sum of the first 4 equations. First 4 terms. So this is how we are going to find. So this is the basic way. So before you come to the grade 10 lessons, that means the grade 9, grade 6, grade 5, you have this knowledge. You can add all these numbers. But if you are in grade 10, you have some equation to calculate these additions, calculate these terms as easiest way. So this is the equations. So you have 2 equations. This is the first equation and this is the second equations. So you have to remember if you can remember all these 2 equations, but I just only remember the second equation. I'm explaining the difference between these 2 equations. So we have 2 equations like this one and this one. The Sn means the sum of the n term. That is why the S term is coming. Sn is equal to n divided by 2 a plus l. You know what is the meaning of the n? N means the n term. The පළවෙනි පදේ, දෙවෙනි පදේ, තුන්වෙනි පදේ, 10 වෙනි පදේ, 150 වෙනි පදේ, 1001 වෙනි පදේ. Likewise, n term mean n mean nth term. The simple a means the first term. L, this is the new term for you. L is the final terms. That means the final. So the final term is represent L. This is the first term. This is the final term. So this is how the equation is formed. The second equation Sn equal n divided by 2 curly bracket 2a plus bracket n minus 1 into d. So you have to remember this equation very clearly. N equal n divided by 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So කවියක් වගේ මතක තියාගන්න මේ equation එක. So if you can remember this equation, you can earn but just by writing this equation in the exam. answer script as well. Make exam paper එකේ answer එකක් විදියට ලිව්වොත් මේකටත් ලකුණක් හම්බ වෙනවා. So the equation is very important for exam. So the questions we have is to find the sum of the first 12 term of the arithmetic progression. So you can use any of these equations to find the values. The find the sum of the first 12 term. ඒ කියන්නේ පළවෙනි පද 12. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි හිතමු මේකේ තියෙන්නේ 5 2 5 10 15 20 25. Likewise the arithmetic progression is we can write, but the question says the find the 12th term, addition of the 12th term. 10 should 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 20 plus 25. Likewise, you cannot add. This is the oldest version. Now you have two equations. You can just use the second equation. Sn equal this equation. Why you use this second equation? Why you cannot use this first equation to find the Sn? Sn means S12. If you select this equation, you don't know what is the value of L. අවසාන පදේ ඔයා දන්නවද මේක නෑනේ. 5 10 15 20 25 ඔහොම ලියන්න යන්න පුළුවන් 12 දක්වා. 12 වෙනි පදේ දක්වා. හැබැයි එහෙම ලියන්නේ ලිව්වොත් ඉතින් මේක පොඩි ළමයින්ට උනත් කරන්න පුළුවන්. නොලියා කරන එක තමයි මෙතන තියෙන important point එක වෙන්නේ. අපි ලියන්නේ නැහැ මේක. We are not going to continue this sequence anymore. We just only know the first term, simple A as 5. I'm going to write this one. First term, simple A is 5. N mean 12. So now you want to find the S12. S12 means n divided by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So this is the equation I'm preferring, and n is 12, 12 divided by 2, and n 2a. 2a mean 2 into a. A mean the first term, 5. I bracket them to identify more clearly. Then this plus term come here. N mean again n is 12 minus 1 into d. Oh my god, what is the value of d? So that is how we practiced earlier, how to calculate the simple d. Simple d means the common difference. Common difference is 10 minus 5. This is a simple, isn't it? 5. The simple d is 5. 5 here. Curly bracket, and you can solve now. 6 into 10 and plus 11 into 5, 55. මෙතනදී මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ එක දෙයයි arithmetic progression එකකදී sum එක හොයනකොට එහෙම නැත්නම් addition එක හොයනකොට ඔයාලට use කරන්න පුළුවන් equations types දෙකක් තියෙනවා. මම use කරන්නේ long equation එක. අනිත් equation එක සමහර අවස්ථාවලදී more important. සමහර අවස්ථාවලදී ඒක use කරලා අපට ඉක්මනට හොයන්න පුළුවන්. But if you use the second equation, you can solve any of the equations by using the second equation. But if you only remember the first equation, then you will in a trouble. ඔයාට එතන ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙනවා. ඒක නිසා තමයි අතරම කියනවා මම මෙතනදී මේ කියන්න මේ second equation එක හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ by using the first equation. This is the basic equation. The simple equation. This is the simple equation. By using this equation, we can we have found the second equation, the long equation. So therefore, I am using the second equation rather than remembering the first equation. But since this is a simple equation, මම මේක මතක තියාගත්තේ නැති වුණත් මේක පොඩි equation එකක් නිසා මට ඒක already I remember these equations as well. So therefore, I'm not going to worry about any of the questions which is coming from these two equations. Right. Okay, we'll move. I think the answers is correct. So we'll move. So this is the questions. So now we already completed the grade 10 unit arithmetic progressions. Now we can have the example to identify how the exam questions are coming. So this is the past papers, the 2019 oral exam. You can try these questions, and then I'm going to explain the questions. Sunita, who hopes to participate in a sport event trained by the jogging daily. මේ jogging කරනවලු සුනීතා she නිසා දැක්කේ සුනීතා හරිද දැන් මේ සුනීත කියන එක කියන සුනීතා පළවෙනි දවසේ she spent the 105 minutes in the first week පළවෙනි දවසේ පළවෙනි සතියේ මිනිත්තු 105ක කාලයක් මෙයා jogging කරලා තියෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ 119 minutes in the second week. දෙවෙනි සතියේ මිනිත්තු 119ක්. දැන් මේක වලට රටාවක් පේන්න ඕන. 105යි දෙවෙනි සතියේ 119යි තුන්වෙනි සතියේ ඔහොම ගණන් යනවා ඇති. ඔය විදිහට ඉස්සරහට යනවා. The time she spent the training each week then the taken consecutively lie in the arithmetic progression. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක arithmetic progression එකකට අනුව තමයි සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ කියලා ගානේ දෙනවා. The question number 1 says the okay wait yes question number 1 says the find the common difference so this is a simple question so the first week 105 the second week 190 comma you don't know what is the value of third fourth fifth week actually you don't want to that value as well because you know the adjacent two numbers to calculate the difference common difference 119 and 105 you just substitute those two values and find the value as 14 as difference common difference so now you know the value of d common difference let's move to the part 2 can you see the question is very simple this is the 10 marks questions okay ලකුණු 10ක් ගන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රශ්නයක් මේක so this is the part 2 part 2 says the find the minutes the time she spent training the seventh week හත්වෙනි සතියේ කොච්චර time එකක් spend කරනවද කියලා තමයි අහන්නේ tn equation එක දැන් අපට ඕන tn equal a plus n minus 1 into d so this is the equation you just only need to substitute the values. The first term is 105. You know value. N means the seventh week now. N minus 1 into D. D means the common difference. You have just found the value as 14. You just you can now calculate the value of the T7. T7 is the final answer. T7 equal 105 into 7 minus 1 means 6. 6 into 14. You can multiply 14 by 6 and you will end up with the answer as 84 and the 105 will end up with the 189. So this is the T7. What is the value of T7? T7 represents the minutes taken for a jogging in the seventh week. So this is the final value, the 189. So now we'll move to the part 3. Part 3 says the in which week simple n තමයි දැන් අහන්නේ මොන සතියේද does the time she spent training the during the first week exceed 221 ඒ කියන්නේ මිනිත්තු 221 221 minutes spend කරන්නේ මොන සතියේද කියලා තමයි අහන්නේ so then අපට අපි tn equation එක තමයි again we want to use this equation tn equal a plus n minus 1 into d right so the simple a 105 do you know the value of n no now you don't know what is the value of n n represent the which week මොන සතියද කියන එක තමයි මෙතනදී n වලින් නිරූපණය කරන්නේ n you don't know n minus 1 into d you know value as 14 and here some important point is here look at very carefully and tn what is the value of that what is the meaning of the tn is nth term n term. Again n වෙනි පදයේ අගය. Right? 221. ඒ කියන්නේ the මේ tn is equal a plus n minus 1 into d. Right? So that is why we got value as 105 plus n minus 1 into 14. මේක මම ආදේශ කරා. හැබැයි මෙතනදී මම මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක් දානවා. inequality sign එක දානවා. ඇයි මං එහෙම දැම්මේ? ඒක දැම්මත් හොඳට පැහැදිලිව කරන්න පුළුවන් මට ඒකයි. Look at the questions very carefully. Very carefully. So the questions 3 says that in which week does the time she spent the training during the first week exceed? First week exceed 221 minutes. ඒ කියන්නේ 221ක් මිනිත්තු 221කට වඩා වැඩියෙන් වැඩ කරන වැඩියෙන් ජොගින් කරන වීක් එක මොකක්ද කියලා අහන්න. එතකොට exceed නිසා මේ 221 කියන value එකකට වඩා මෙන්න මේ පැත්තෙන් එන value එක වැඩි වෙන n value එක තමයි හොයන්න. මෙතන sign equal sign එක දාලා හැදුවත් මේ answer එක එනවා. හැබැයි මෙතනදී inequality sign එක දාලා තියෙනකොට special one mark එකක් allocate කරලා තියෙනවා marking scheme එකේ. inequality එක දානකොට. කොහොමද ඇයි මෙතන inequality එකක් ආවේ? මෙතන කෙලින්ම the question itself says that the exceed mean exceed 221. The time she spent during that week more than 221 minutes. එයා ඒ සතිය තුල ජොගින් කරන ටයිම් එක මිනිත්තු 221කට වඩා වැඩි වෙන වීක් එක මොකක්ද කියලා අහනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ 225ක් 230ක් 250ක් වගේ මිනිත්තු ප්‍රමාණයක් ජොගින් කරන පළවෙනි වීක් එක මොකක්ද කියලා අහන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මුලින්ම 221ක් හෝ 221ක් වෙන්න බෑ. 221කට වඩා වැඩිනේ exceed නේ. ඒකට අඩුම තරමේ මිනිත්තු 222ක්වත් මම මේ නිකන් වැඩිපුර විස්තර කරන්නේ. මිනිත්තු 222ක්වත් ජොගින් කරන වීක් එක මොකක්ද කියලා තමයි අහන්නේ. පළවෙනිම වීක් එක. මෙහෙම යනවනේ. පළවෙනි වීක් එක, දෙවෙනි වීක් එක, තුන්වෙනි වීක් එක එන්න හැම වීක් එකෙම ජොගින් කරන ටයිම් එක වැඩි වෙනවා. වැඩි වෙලා ගිහිල්ලා අපි හිතමු මොකක් හරි වීක් එකක ආව කියලා 220ක් 220. ඊට පස්සේ next week එකේ ඊට වඩා වැඩිනේ. එතකොට අපි ආවා කියලා හිතමු 229ක්. ඊළඟ වීක් එකේ 229ක් මිනිත්තු මෙයා ජොගින් කරනවා. එතකොට the week after that week අපි හිතමු 235යි කියලා. එතකොට මේ ගානේ හැටියට 221ක් මිනිත්තු ජොගින් කරන weeks එනවා දිගටම අර 229 week එකෙන් පස්සේ. 229ක් ජොගින් කරපු week එකක් තියෙනවනේ. මේ week එකෙන් පස්සේ week එකේ 229ට වඩා වැඩිපුර මිනිත්තු ප්‍රමාණයක් ජොගින් කරනවනේ 235ක්. ඊට පස්සේ 245ක් 255ක් 200 ඔහොම යනවනේ. මම කියන්නේ 10න් 10 මම කිව්වේ නිකන් මේ රටාවට නෙමෙයි. ඔහොම යනවනේ. එතකොට 221කට වඩා වැඩි මිනිත්ස් ජොගින් කරපු weeks ගොඩක් එනවා ඉස්සරහට. coming there are more weeks coming, right? අපෙන් අහන්නේ first week එක. පළවෙනියට මේ 221කට වඩා වැඩියෙන් ජොගින් කරන week එක මොකද්ද කියලා තමයි අහන්නේ. කියන්නේ n වල value එක තමයි අහන්නේ. So that is why the inequality sign is coming here. So I think you got that explanation very effectively. So now we have only few steps behind the answer. So now we can proceed. Right. Okay. 221 inequality sign 105 plus. I'm going to wait. Okay. I'm going to remove the bracket. Remove bracket is very easy. You can just multiply 14n minus 14. So now you can subtract 14 into 105. 105 minus 14, 91 plus 14n. Right? Now 221 minus 91. I'm going to subtract 91 from both sides. So that is the rule for inequality lessons unit. inequality අසමානතා inequality කියලා unit එකක් තියෙනවා දන්නවා. ඒ unit එකේදී අපි කියනවා අපි අර සාමාන්‍ය equation එකක් වගේ නෙවෙයි එක පැත්තකින් අනිත් පැත්තට අරන් යන්න බෑ. මෙතෙන්දි වෙන්නේ දෙපැත්තටම එකම දෙයක් කරනවා. addition නම් addition, subtraction නම් subtraction, divide නම් divide, එහෙම නැත්නම් multiplication නම් multiplication කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ විදිහට මෙතනදී කරාට පස්සේ මෙන්න මේකට මේක cancel out and here we have only 14n. Now we have here you just substitute value and you got the final value as 130. You have you can divide by 14. This 14 cancel out. Here n you can divide these two numbers and you will end up with a 9.28. 9.28. Oh my god, 9.28. 9.28 minutes. Sorry, week. සති 9.0.9.28. Weeks 9.28. What is the value of the week? What is the in which week? So මේකේ තේරුම තමයි සති 9ක් ඉවරයි ඊළඟ සතිය දැන් යන ගමන් තමයි ඉන්නේ. එතකොට මේ සතියට කියන නම මොකක්ද? දැන් මම ළඟ කේක් ගෙඩි දෙකක් තියෙනවා. එක කේක් එකක් කාලා තව කේක් එකකින් භාගයක් කනවා. එතකොට පළවෙනි කේක් එක කාලා ඉවරයිනේ. දැන් දෙවෙනි කේක් එකකිනුත් භාගයක් කාලා ඉවරයි. එතකොට අම්මා ඇවිල්ලා දැන් කන්නේ මොන කේක් එකද කියලා ඇහුවොත් පළවෙනි කේක් එක ඉවරයිනේ. දැන් ඒක ගැන කියන්නේ දැන් කන්නේ මම දෙවෙනි කේක් එක. ඒ කියන්නේ මම දැන් ඉන්නේ මොන කේක් එක කන ගමන්ද? දෙවෙනි කේක් එක කන ගමන්. එතකොට දැන් මේ 9.28 කියන්නේ සති 9ක් already gone. 9 weeks already gone. So now you are in 10th week. So the answer is this question is the 10th week. So this is the final answer. So if you can write this answer, you can earn full marks for this question. So I think the question is very clear to you all. And assuming that you got the value, and we move to the last part of the question. So this is the exam question, the really important. So this solution, addition, subtraction, divided part is not that much difficult. So now go to the last part of the question. Remember that this is the 10 marks questions. Right, let's go. Right, simple A, find the total time she spent the jogging during the 10th. Find the total time. Look at this word. This is a very important word. Total time, not the simple time. This is a total time. That means the sum of the time. Remember that මේක කියනකොට මොකද මතක් වෙනවද SN equation එක තමයි දැන් අපට ඕන කියලා total time. She spent the jogging during the first 10 weeks. That means the equation which you know, SN equal n divided by 2 to a plus n minus 1 into d. This is the equation that we have to remember very thoroughly. So now n mean s. Now you are going to calculate the total minutes that she spent for the jogging. First 10 week training. පළවෙනි සති 10 කොච්චර නම් ටයිම් එකක් මෙයා මේ ගැහණු කෙනා මේ ජොගින් වලට වෙන් කරාද එයාගේ ලයිෆ් එකෙන් කියලා තමයි දැන් අපි හොයන්නේ. That means S10 n divided by 2. n mean number of weeks ne 10. Simple A mean we found that value as the from question 105. D we found 14. So for every terms we know, we only have substitute the value in this equation. 2a mean 2 into 105 and the n minus 1 n is 10 minus 1 into d mean 14. So the 5 into 210 plus 9 into 14 into 9. I just I'm going to write the answers very straightforwardly because this is not the arithmetic progression lesson. We already finished that one. මේ පළවෙනි පියවර ලියනකොටම arithmetic progressions ඉවරයි. එතනින් හරිය තියෙන්නේ solve කරන්න විතරයි. This the grade 7 8 9 mathematics. So that is why I am going to uh, do this straightforwardly. Right, 1680. So this is the final answer for part A. Okay, we can read the last part. Simple B. If average speed, then only speed වේගයක් ගැන කතා කරනවා. The jogging කරන speed එකක් තියෙනවා. Jogging කරන speed එක average speed at which she jogs is 6 kilometer per hour. 5 kilometer 6ක වේගයක්. Now you know the value of the speed. Speed කියනකොටම speed කියනකොටම ඔයාලට මතක් වෙන speed. We already completed that lesson, that unit as well in the previous class. Rate units speed equal distance divided by time. This is the equation that we have learned. Okay. So this is the equation. Now you know the speed value and find the total distance. Total distance. You have to find this D. The total distance she jogs during that time. That time means that during the first 10 V. Now you know the value of the time, the total time you know, and you know the speed. You can find the total distance she traveled. Okay. So the D we can write the speed times into time. What is the speed? Speed means 6 kilometer. 6 kilometer per hour. Remember the unit is very, very important. 6 kilometer per hour. But the time is here in the minutes. Therefore, we need to convert the 5 kilometer කියන එක පැයට මිනිත්තු බවට convert කරන්න ඕන. Right? මේක දීලා තියෙන මිනිත්තු වලින්නේ. එතකොට මිනිත්තු වලින් දීලා තියෙනකොට time එක අපට පැය වලින් මිනිත්තු එක දීලා තියෙනවා වේගයේදී. එතකොට speed is mentioned the speed as the 6 kilometer per hour. ඒ කියන්නේ පැයකට මිනිත්තු කොච්චරක් තියෙනවද? 60ක් තියෙනවනේ. ඒක නිසා මම මෙතන 60යි කියලා දානවා. බෙදීම 60යි. I think you got this terms very, very clearly. The 6 kilometer for what? 6 kilometer for which time? 6 kilometer for an hour, right? For hour. Okay, 5 kilometer 6 කියලා කියන්නේ එක 6 kilometer එකක් කියන්නේ එක පැයකට. පැයක් කියලා කියන්නේ මිනිත්තු 60ක්, right? We convert the 6 kilometer per hour into 6 kilometer per minutes. So to do that, we have to divide it by 60 in order to convert the units for kilometer per minute. Then the time is also in the same units, 1680 minutes. So the minutes cancel out, and you will end up with the answer as 608 kilometer. D, distance. The distance you travel. I'm using this space to write the final answer. D is equal to 610 So this is the final answer. The 168 kilometers she has already traveled. So this is how we completed the 10 marks questions for previous, the just finished oral exam. So මෙතනදී තිබුණේ එකම එක point එකයි අර equation දෙක මතක තියාගන්න. එතනින් පස්සේ ඒකට substitute කරන්න විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. එච්චරයි. Now I spent almost more time for the question number 1. So now I am going to straightforwardly get the answers. Look at very carefully this questions. The above pattern was formed by a student using the match string. ගිනිකුරු පාවිච්චි කරලා මෙන්න මේ වගේ first term this is the simple A or T1, this is the T2, T3, first term, second term, and the third term. How many more match strings is in second pattern when the first pattern? මොකද මේ part 1 එකෙන් යන්නේ පළවෙනි දෙවෙනි එක බවට පරිවර්තනය කිරීමට දෙවෙනි එකක් බවට දෙවෙනි එකට අවශ්‍ය කොච්චර ගිනිකුරු ප්‍රමාණයක් ඕනද පළවෙනි එකට වඩා. That means the common difference එක තමයි අහන්නේ. Right, the පළවෙනි එකේ ගිනිකුරු කොච්චරද? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 comma 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Again 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. This one 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. So this is මේක විතරයි අපට ඕන නම් මම මේ රූප දිහා බලන්න එපා ඉතින් ඉස්සරහ. වැඩක් නැහැ. Right? So by looking at this sequence, you can identify the difference between two adjacent numbers. 11 minus 8. 11 minus 8 means 3. So this is the this much of match sticks is need to convert the first pattern into second pattern. So this is how we got the value for part 1. Part 2 says that how many match sticks are needed from 8 pattern. 8 pattern. අටවෙනි pattern එක හදන්න කොච්චර නම් ගිනිකුරු ඕනද කියලා අහනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Tn නේද? Tn මම දැන් මෙතනදී equation එක විතරයි ලියන්නේ. I'm not going to solve, right? T8 equal a plus n minus 1 into d නේ equation එක. first term එකේ එනවා 8 plus n mean n කියලා කියන්නේ 8 මනේ 8 pattern එකනේ. 8 minus 1 into d. D we know value as 3. So this is you can now solve. The third question says how many match sticks are needed for form 15 pattern. 15 pattern mean 15 pattern mean T15 a plus n minus 1 into d. Right? A mean 8. First term ne මෙන්න මේක. plus n කියලා කියන්නේ 15 වෙනි පදය. එහෙනම් 15 1 ඍණ 1 d we know the value as 3. You can solve now, right? We can move to the next questions after completing this question. So now we move to the grade 11 geometric progression unit. Here also we have only two equations. That means the Tn equation and the Sn equation, right? Tn equal ARN minus 1, right? I just wrote this equation and I explained the equation number 1. Equation number 1 means the Tn equation. Tn means the nth term equal a. You know what is the value of the a. A means first term. R you don't know what up to now. N means the nth term. What is the value of R here? Geometric progression, right? Now we are in the grade 11 geometric progression unit. For example, 2, 6, 18, dot. ඔය විදිහට තියෙන sequence එක. Then කලින් වගේ මේවා අතර common difference එකක් තියෙනවද? මේ දෙක අතර difference කීයද? 4. මේ දෙක අතර difference එක 12. You know? Did you see that one? The difference is not common, not equal. Therefore, this is not a arithmetic progression sequence, right? This is a difference one. This is called the geometric progression. Geometric progressions is the ratio between adjacent number is equal. Ratio 6 divided by 2. 18 divided by 6. Right? 6 divided by 2. What is the value of that? 3. 18 divided by 6. What is the value of that? 3. These values are common. That means the common ratio. R is called as common ratio. This R is called as common ratio. Right? This R is called as this common ratio. Common. How to find this common ratio? You can divide 6 by 2. You can divide 18 by 6. You can divide it nth term by the term which is located before the nth term. That means n minus 1th term. So this is the equation that I have just right here to identify the meaning. Right? ඔක තමයි තේරුම. ඒ කියන්නේ 150 වෙනි පදය 149 වෙනි පදයෙන් බෙදුවට පස්සේ එන වැලියු එක equal වෙනවා නම් 1,65,325 බෙදීම 1,65,324. ඒ කියන්නේ ලොකු ඒ කියන්නේ අවසාන පදයට කලින් පදයෙන් බෙදුවට පස්සේ එන වැලියු එක equal වෙනවා හැම adjacent තියෙන numbers දෙකක් අතර division එකට. For example, one more example. 3, 9, 27, 81, 243, and 729. Dot. This is a geometric progression sequence, right? How to find the common ratio? Simple R. Common ratio represents simple R. 9 divided by 3 or 27 divided by 9 or 81 divided by 27 or this one divided by 81 or finally, not finally, we have many more divided by 243. Finally, we end up with the same answer. So this is the common ratio. The previous arithmetic progression, we have common difference. Here we have common ratio, right? So now the Tn equal AR n minus 1. Tn equal AR n minus 1. So by using this equation, we can find the nth term, right? අපි හිතමු දැන් මේ ගානෙම 3 9 27 likewise we have geometric progression. The question says, if the exam question says that student asked to find the 25th term of this geometric progression. How to find this one? That means T25 equal A mean the first term 3 into R. R we just found as 3. N minus 1. N here is 25. 25th term, no? 25th in minus 1. That means 3 into 3, 24. Right. This is the very, very huge number. Anyway, 24. That finally we got the value as 8.47 into 10 to the power 11. You can see the number, the very huge number. Then අපි try කරමු B part B එකට, right? Right, part B. Now you can try for the part B. We have already calculated value for part A. Part B, we want to find the value. So this is one of the easiest questions. The first term is 3, and the sixth one is minus 96. Find the common ratio, simple R, right? අපි මේක කරා ඔයාලට මතක ඇති මොකේද මේ arithmetic sequence වලදී arithmetic වලදී අපි මේ වගේම question එකක් කරා මුලදී. ඒ වගේම එකක් තමයි මෙතනදිත් අවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙතනදිත් කරන්න තියෙන මෙච්චරයි. first term එක අපි දන්නවා equation එක මොකද්ද? tn equal arn minus 1. This is the equation. nth term tn is equal to arn minus 1. Right now, you know the equation. You only have to substitute the value. Tn means the first term, right? First term is a. That means the simple a. You know, value is 3. First term means simple a is equal to 3. Now the another data you have 6th term. That means T6 is equal to 96 minus 96. Before that, we can use this equation to find the T6. T6 equal to A mean 3. 3 into R. R is the one we want to find. So R n minus 1. N here is 6 minus 1 equal 3R5. So this is the T6 value, right? T6 value already we know as minus 96. I'm writing bottom of the page, and 96 minus 96 is equal to 3R5, right? Now you can divide by 3 for both sides, and the R5 is equal minus 32. Minus 32. Here R5 is equal, minus sign is as it is. You can keep it as it is, and 32. දැන් වන්න අපට ඕන වෙනවා වෙන යුනිට් එකක්. මේ 32 කියන එක නම් මම ලියනවා 2 to the power 5. 2 into 2 in 2 into 2 mean 4. 4 into 2 8. 8 into 2 16. 16 into 2 35. 32. So that is how the 32 is coming by using the 2 to the power 5, right? Now this 5 and this 5 will cancel out, and finally we will end up with the answer as R is equal to minus 2. That is the common ratio. The question says to find the common ratio. Common ratio is minus 2. So this is how the part B is completed. Right. Then api grade 11 wala geometric series wala final equation එක තමයි දැන් අපිට තියෙන්නේ. Grade 11 geometric series, not geometric progression. The first equation is Tn is equal Arn minus 1. The Sn equation, addition, sum of the n term will represent the Sn. Sn is equal to n minus 1 into r minus 1. This is the equation that we are using here. R n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. So sometimes this is the equation that you need to remember. You can use this equation as well. 1 minus r n divided by 1 minus r. So the both equations are similar. You can see right here, r n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Things are changed. 1 minus rn divided by 1 minus r. The both equations are correct. You need to remember these two equations as well. This one and this one. By considering these two equations, SN equation, you don't want to remember this equation. You only want to remember this equation. One of these two equations you can remember, right? Both these answers are correct, same, similar, right? So this is the SN equation. And now you know the two equations which are coming from the arithmetic progressions and the two equations which are coming from the geometric progression. Two are Tn, two are Sn. So this is how the progression units are happen. Right now, go to this question and okay. Before that, I would like to go to this one, right? You can read the questions, and the question says the figure shows the way some small light bulbs have been connected in a circular pattern in the figure, in the first three rings of the decoration. When we decoration at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 bulbs in the first circle, and the second circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Third one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just write this sequence 5, 7, 9. You can see this is not a geometric progression. This is the arithmetic progression, because the difference is same. 7 minus 5 means 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. This is the arithmetic progression. So one more details we have here. The last ring in this decoration contain 35 bulbs. Last ring contain 35 bulbs. How many rings are there in the decoration? Then අපි දන්නවා අවසාන decoration අවසාන circle එකේ තියෙන bulb ගාන. අවසාන ring එකේ තියෙන bulbs ගාන දන්නවා, right? So how many rings? ඒ කියන්නේ n වෙනි කියන දන්නේ නැති, n දන්නේ නැහැ. අපි දැන් n වල අගය තමයි හොයන්න ඕනේ. So now we know the value of simple a. First term 5. Use the equation, the arithmetic equation, a plus n minus 1 into d. The details we have, the last ring we have 35 bulbs. 35 bulbs. That means Tn is equal to 35. First number 5. N we don't know. We have to find n minus 1. D we know 2. So by subtracting 5 from 35, 30 divided by 2. මම එකපාරම ලියනවා 15යි 15යි 16යි. n is equal to 2. Right? මේක 30යි දෙකෙන් බෙදුවම 15යි 15ට මේක එක අනිත් පැත්තට ගන්න +1 15ට එකක් එකතු කරාම 16යි. So what is the meaning of this 16? 16 means you have 16 rings. You have 16 rings. In order to have the 35 bulbs for last ring, අවසාන circle එකේ bulbs 35ක් තියෙන මෙන්න මේ විදිහට 16ක් තියෙන්න ඕන rings. ඒක තමයි මේකේ meaning එක. Right. Let's move to the part 2. Part 2 says that how many bulbs have been used to total? Total. Now we are using the SN equation. Right. SN equation. SN equal n divided by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. All the terms which are included in this equations are known. N means 16 divided by 2, n here, and 2a, a mean here, the first term, 2 into 5, I bracket it, and the plus sign, n mean again 16 into 2 into minus 16 minus 1 into d. D is here, 2. Likewise, you can find the answer. 6, 8, 16 divided by 2, 8 into 10 plus 15 into 30. Right, 40, 40, this divide. Right. So likewise, the calculation speed must be improved by doing the question again and again and again. So, කරලා ස්පීඩ් එක වැඩි කරගන්න. මොකද සමහර ලාවට අපිට සමහර ප්‍රශ්න වලට එක්සෑම් එකේදී හොඳට තේරෙනවා. හැබැයි තේරුණාට අරහින් පේපර් එක කර්තු කරගෙන එනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ ටයිම් එක ඉවරයි. රයිට්. ඔයා ස්පීඩ් අප් කරොත් ඔයාගේ කැල්කියුලේෂන් එක calculation speed එක වැඩි කරොත් if you can increase the speed of the calculation, you will have more time in the exam at the exam. So I think the question is very clear to you all. This is the arithmetic progression question. Now we have the very important question here. So this is the last questions which I am selecting to discuss with you. So now you can read the question, or otherwise I will help you understand the question. Ranjit cut a roll of ribbon into pieces of the length 3 centimeter, 8 centimeter, and 13 centimeter, etc. Blah blah blah, etc. Blah blah blah, etc. To be used for a decoration when the number of decoration. So this is the sequence. I would like to write the sequence like this: 3, 8, 13, dot dot dot. Can you guess what is the progression style? This is the arithmetic or a geometry. You can see the difference between these two numbers is again the same, the d. 8 minus 3 is 5. 13 minus 8 is also 5. The common difference. This is the arithmetic progression question. The part 1 says when the numbers representing the length of the pieces of the ribbons are written in order, what progression does the numbers represent? The arithmetic progressions. This is the answer for part 1. You have to prove that. Okay, this is the proof process of the proof. Right. Okay, the part 2, if the largest piece of the ribbon he cut is 33 centimeter, how many pieces of the ribbon were cut? Again, එයා කපපු ලොකුම region, ලොකුම ribbon එක තමයි 33 centimeters length එකක් තියෙන මේ ribbon එක. එතකොට එයා කොච්චරනම් මේට කලින් කපලා ඇතිද? ඔක්කොම කපලා ඇතිද? මේ cut කරලා තියෙන pieces ගන්න තමයි අහන්නේ. So largest piece of he cut is 33 centimeter. Right. Again අපි දන්නවා මේක arithmetic progression එක ගන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට එන්න අගම වැඩි වෙනවා. එයා කපපු උපරිම එක 33යි කියන්නේ ඒ කපලා තියෙන අවසාන එක. එතනින් එහාට එකක් කැපුවම 33ට වඩා වැඩිනේ. එහෙනම් අපි identify කරගන්න ඕන. එයා දැනට කපලා තියෙන ලොකුම එක 33යි කියන එකේ තේරුම තමයි එයා දැනට කපලා තියෙන අවසානම එක 33යි කියන එක. එහෙනම් අපිට දාන්න පුළුවන් tn equal a plus n minus 1 into d equation එක ඩෝන් දාලා දාන්න පුළුවන්. දාලා tn tn අපි දන්න අවසාන පදේ. tn කියන්නේ n වෙනි පදය. n වෙනි පදේ අගය කියන්නේ මෙතනදී අවසාන පදේ විදිහට ගමුකෝ n වෙනි පදේ. n වෙනි පදේ කියන්නේ අවසාන පදේ. That means the last term is 33. Simple a means 3 first term here. N minus 1, we don't know what is the value of n. This is the one we want to find. Simple n. Which number of, how many number of pieces? That means simple n. How many numbers of pieces? D represent the 5, right? Okay, 30 divided by 5 into minus 1. I'm going to solve very straightforwardly. Right, 6 into 7. N is equal to 7. N is 7. You can solve, right? N is equal to 7. That means the 7 number of pieces of ribbon were cut up to now. So this is the part 2 answer. The part 3 says which term is 48 centimeter length of the ribbon he cut. Again, the equation is similar. N minus 1 is into d. That here, which term 48 centimeter length of ribbon? Centimeter 48ක් දිග centimeter 48ක් දිග ribbon එක කපනකොට එයා කපන මේ ඒක කීවෙනි term එකද නැත්නම් කීවෙනි ribbon පටි කෑල්ලද කියලා තමයි අහන්නේ. එතකොට මෙතනදී අපි හිතමු 48 මෙයා නැවතුවා කියලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් 48 තමයි n වෙනි පදය. එතකොට n වෙනි පදයේ nth term එක 48. Right, n 20 length එකේ දිග 48. First term එක again 3. n කියලා කියන්නේ we don't know n වෙනි පදේ තමයි දැන් අපි හොයන්නේ. d අපි දන්නවා 5යි. එහෙනම් මේක solve කරලා අපට n වලගේ හොයන්න පුළුවන්. Right, this is how the simple a is completed. Right, we have completed part simple a. So now we move to the part b. Part b, you can read part b. Right, part b here. Right, okay. Part b says the nth term of the progression is here. Okay, nth term mentioned here. Nth term means tn. 3 into 2 minus 1 into 1. Nth term means tn no. Nth term කියලා කියන්නේ tn කියන එක. එතකොට tm කියන අපිට දීලා තියෙන මෙන්න මේ විදිහට nth term of the progression is like this. Then simple one say part 1 says show that this is the geometric progression. Wow. දැන් මේක geometric series geometric progression එකක් කියලා පෙන්වන්න තමයි ඕන. කොහොමද මේක geometric progression එකක් කියලා පෙන්වන්නේ? Geometric progression එකක් කියලා පෙන්වන්නේ අපි දැන් කියන්න ඕන අපි දන්න equation එක මොකද්ද? tn equal arn minus 1. This is the equation we know, right? අපි පෙන්වන්න ඕන අපිට දීලා තියෙන එකත් මේ වගේ නේද කියලා. එතකොට හරිනේ. දැන් බලන්න මෙතන තියෙන්නේ n වෙනි term එක. tn මේ එක කියන එක නම මුලින් ලියා ගන්නවා. 1 into 3 into 3 minus 2 minus 1. So now a represent the 1, r represent the 3, n represent the 2. You can see. I erase this one. Change the color. මේ a කියලා කියන්නේ එක වගේ නේද? r කියලා කියන්නේ හරියට නිකන් 3 වගේම තමයි. උඩ නැගලා ඉන්නේ කවුද? n ඍණ එක. මෙතන ඉන්නේ 2 ඍණ එක. එහෙනම් 2 කියලා කියන්නේ n තමයි. එහෙනම් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් a is equal to 1. a කියලා කියන්නේ 1. r mean 3. n mean 2. So this is how we prove the show. This is how we show that this is the geometric progression. So finally you can write the sentence as the like this. So this is exactly following the geometric progression. So therefore this is the geometric progression. So that is how. So part 1 is complete. Part 2 says that I erase this all these things, and part 2, find the sum of the first 6 terms of the progression. Find the first 6 term, sum of the first 6 term. That means S6. S6 no. S S6 mean ARN minus 1 divided by RN minus 1. This is the equation. You have to remember only 4 equations you have to remember. This is the final equation, SN equation for geometric series, geometric progression. Geometric. Sn equal ARN minus 1 divided by R minus 1. This is the equation that you need to remember. S6. Why S6 is coming? You need to calculate the addition of first 6 term. First 6 term. That is why S6 is coming. A. Simple A mean we already erased this important point. A mean 1. R is equal to 3. N is equal to 2. The previous case. Here N is equal to 6, no? Because the 6 addition of 6. That means the sum of the 6 terms. That means N is equal to 6. A is equal to 1. R is equal to 3. N don't know. Minus 1 divided by R again 3 into 3 minus 3. Equal 3n minus 1 divided by 3 minus 1 2 here. Sn. Right. Now, question says to find the sum of the first 6 terms of the progression. Here, the n is 6. Therefore, we can remove 6 n and we can subtract here, because we are finding the 6 addition of the 6 term. That is why. So what is the value of the 3 to the power 6? 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. That means 3 to the power 6. I got the value of 729 as 3 to the power 6 by using this calculator, right? But you need to calculate the 3 6s like this, 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. 3 into 3 means 9, 27, 81, 243 and 729 like this, divided by 2. Finally, we end up with the answer as 8 divided by 2, 364. So this is how the answer is kept. Okay. So what is the value of this S6 as 364? What is the value? What is the meaning? This is not a question. I just ask you to identify the problem very clearly. මේක හොඳට පැහැදිලි වෙන්නත් එක තමයි මේක අහන්නේ. මොකද්ද මේ 364 කියන එකේ තේරුම? 364 කියන එකේ තේරුම තමයි පළවෙනි පද හයේම එකතුව. හරිද? මොකක් හරි geometric series එක 1 3 9 81 243 කොහොම තියෙනවනේ. මේක පළවෙනි පදය, දෙවෙනි පදය, තුන්වෙනි පදය, හතරවෙනි පදය, පස්වෙනි පදය. මෙතන 27ක් එන්න ඕන. 27. මේක 6 හයවෙනි පදය. ওই විදිහට තිබුණා මේ ඔක්කොගෙන් පදවල එකතුව තමයි මෙතනදී ඕක සමානලා තියෙන 364ට. හැබැයි මම මේ විදිහට ඇඩිෂන් එකතු කරලා නෙවෙයි අපි මේ 364යි කියලා හෙව්වේ by using this very important equation. By using this important equation, we end up with the same answer instead of adding all these first 6 terms by using the oldest version. අපි එකතු කරන්නේ නැතුව පරණ ක්‍රමයට අපි equation එක use කරලා හෙව්වා. equation එක use කරලා හැදුවොත් විතරයි ලකුණු හම්බ වෙන්නේ. ඒක නිසා නිකන් එකතු කරලා හැදුවොත් ලකුණු බිඳුවයි. ඒක නිසා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ equation එක මතක තියාගන්න. equation එක ලියනකොට ලකුණක් වෙන් වෙනවා exam එකේදී. ඊට අමතරව මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම complete කරොත් ලකුණු 10ක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right. So I think you can understand things which I have mentioned today's class. We are going to conclude the today's sessions. Okay, thank you.